Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The 1973 USA quarter dollar has recently captured the imagination of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike because of its staggering valuation of $18 million, making it one of the most valuable coins in the history of American numismatics. And what makes this coin so captivating isn't just its age, but the remarkable combination of rarity, minting anomalies, and historical significance that converge in its creation, a convergence so extraordinary that it has propelled this coin beyond its modest 25-cent face value into the realm of legendary status. And to understand why a simple quarter from 1973 can command such a fortune, you must first consider the economic and minting landscape of the early 1970s, a period marked by significant transitions in the United States mint's technology, changes in alloy compositions, and a heightened demand for coins due to population growth and economic activity. And within this environment, the 1973 quarter dollar emerged, struck primarily in copper-nickel clad over a copper core, replacing the silver content that had been eliminated in circulation coins several years earlier. Yet among the millions produced, a minuscule handful left the mint with characteristics so unusual that they defy the standard definition of a production error, ranging from double dies to off-center strikes, planchet composition anomalies, weak strikes, and even the incredibly rare proof strikes accidentally released into general circulation. And for some specimens, microscopic variations in the obverse or reverse die design reveal subtle differences in letter spacing, mint mark placement, or relief sharpness, making them a field of study for error specialists and adding to their allure among collectors. And the 1973 quarter is tied to an era when coinage was evolving to meet the modern economy. Yet certain coins from this year slipped past quality control and entered circulation with flaws that in hindsight have transformed them into priceless artifacts. One such example being a quarter struck on a 40% silver planchet intended for special bicentennial issues that wouldn't debut until 3 years later, creating a numismatic time anomaly where the wrong metal was used in the wrong year, making it an instant holy grail for collectors. And then there are the dramatic minting errors such as broad strikes without collars, giving the coin a warped, expanded appearance, double strikes where the design is impressed twice in slightly shifted positions, and rotated dies causing misalignment between the obverse and reverse, all of which contribute to uniqueness. And in numismatics, uniqueness is the golden ticket, because rarity combined with demand drives astronomical values, and the mystique of the 1973 quarter is amplified by its survival rate, with many of these error coins being lost to time, circulation wear, or simply discarded by those unaware of their hidden fortune, meaning that each surviving piece is not just rare, but almost miraculous in its continued existence. And provenance also plays a key role, as coins with well-documented ownership histories, especially those passing through the hands of prominent collectors or appearing in famous auctions, see their value multiplied. And one notable specimen of the 1973 quarter fetched millions at auction because of its impeccable condition, pristine luster, full strike details, and an error so dramatic that it seemed like a deliberate artistic statement rather than an accident. And when you factor in the grade assigned by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, you realize that a coin graded MS68 or higher with a rare error is practically a once-in-a-lifetime find, explaining why private collectors and even institutions are willing to pay more than the price of a luxury yacht for a single example. And it's worth remembering that coin collecting is as much about the story as it is about the object, and the story of the 1973 quarter includes economic shifts, technological quirks, human oversight, and the thrill of discovery, because many of these coins have been found in the most mundane settings: loose change from a coffee shop, coins in a jar forgotten in a basement, or inherited collections that sat untouched for decades, suddenly revealing themselves as life-changing treasures. And the excitement around this coin has gone viral in the digital age, with countless social media posts, videos, and news articles showcasing jaw-dropping auction results and encouraging everyday people to check their pockets and drawers for this elusive gem, and the cultural impact is undeniable, with the 1973 quarter becoming a symbol of how extraordinary value can hide in plain sight. And that sense of mystery fuels not only market demand but also the emotional connection people feel toward it, transforming the search for this coin into a modern-day gold rush. And as with any highly coveted collectible, counterfeiters have tried to replicate the rare traits of the genuine article, but the combination of metallurgical analysis, dye study, and microscopic inspection means that experts can separate real treasures from clever fakes, and those authentic specimens continue to hold and even increase in value, reflecting the broader trend in the collectibles market where rare, high-grade coins outperform traditional investments. And in this case, the $18 million valuation represents not just the tangible aspects of rarity and condition, but also the intangible allure of owning a piece of history that is both beautiful and irreplaceable. So if you ever come across a 1973 USA quarter dollar that seems just a bit different from the rest, with unusual strike qualities, unexpected weight, or even a strange tone to its metal, it might be worth far more than you imagine. Because this coin has proven that even the most ordinary object can, under extraordinary circumstances, become the stuff of legend, and that is why this small, unassuming piece of metal holds a place among the most valuable coins ever minted, inspiring collectors worldwide to keep searching, keep studying, and keep dreaming, because the next great find could be sitting unnoticed in your own pocket change right now. And that's the magic of numismatics, turning a simple piece of currency into a tangible link to history, art, and fortune. So if you enjoyed learning about this record-shattering coin and want to keep uncovering more fascinating stories of hidden treasures worth unimaginable sums, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Next, 1988p quarter dollar USA coin. Imagine holding a small, ordinary-looking coin in your hand, a coin that to most people might seem like just another piece of change, but in reality, it could be your ticket to unimaginable wealth, because the 1988p USA quarter dollar, with a face value of just 25 cents, has reached an astonishing worth of $16 million in the world of high-stakes coin collecting, making it one of the most jaw-dropping treasures in numismatic history. And what makes this coin so extraordinary isn't just its age or limited mintage, but the perfect storm of rarity, condition, minting errors, and historical context that has transformed it from an everyday coin into an artifact of incredible value. And to truly appreciate how a seemingly regular quarter from the late 1980s can command such a fortune, you have to understand the conditions surrounding its creation at the United States Mint in Philadelphia during that time, a period when coinage technology was transitioning and certain production processes left room for anomalies. And anomalies in the minting world are like winning lottery tickets for collectors, because they create unique one-of-a-kind specimens that no amount of modern manufacturing could replicate. And the 1988p quarter has been found in versions that defy expectations. From rare double-die obverse varieties, where the inscriptions and Liberty's profile show a dramatic doubling effect, to off-center strikes that reveal blank areas of the planchet alongside misaligned designs, to coins struck on planchets intended for foreign currency or entirely different denominations, making each one a conversation piece and an investment-grade rarity. And there are stories of coins accidentally being struck on silver planchets left over from previous commemorative runs, despite circulating quarters by then being made from copper-nickel clad over a copper core. And such a metal mix-up instantly propels a coin's desirability. And then there are broad strikes without collars, giving the coin a stretched, oversized look, partial collar strikes causing a distinct rim lip on one side, and even dramatic die cracks that appear like natural fissures across the design, each telling a tale of the split-second mechanical quirks that create lifetime legends in the coin market. And the mystique of the 1988p quarter is heightened by the fact that so few of these rare error types have been documented in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning that collectors aren't just hunting for the error itself but for the rare combination of the error plus exceptional preservation, with grades from professional services like PCGS and NGC in the MS67 or MS68 range fetching prices that boggle the mind, and provenance further fuels the fire, as examples that have appeared in landmark auctions, been featured in numismatic publications, or come from renowned private collections carry a prestige that inflates their value beyond the tangible. And what's even more fascinating is how some of these multi-million-dollar coins have turned up in the most ordinary ways, discovered in pocket change after decades of circulation, pulled from coin rolls by hobbyists, or found in jars tucked away in attics, with their owners initially unaware that they were holding a piece of history worth more than luxury homes. And this element of surprise has fueled a viral frenzy online, with social media platforms, YouTube videos, and coin collecting forums buzzing with excitement over the 1988 P quarter, encouraging people everywhere to inspect their coins closely in hopes of stumbling upon this rare gem. And the fact that the Philadelphia mint mark, P, sits unobtrusively on the obverse adds to the intrigue, as it reminds us that the most valuable coin in the room doesn't need to scream for attention. And expert numismatists analyzing these quarters look for telltale signs under magnification, minute shifts in design elements, subtle doubling, die-wear patterns, and luster flow lines that confirm authenticity. And these examinations are crucial because high-value coins, like the 1988 P quarter, inevitably attract counterfeiting attempts. Those skilled professionals can easily detect fakes through metal composition tests, weight checks, and precise measurements, ensuring that genuine specimens retain their immense market value. And this value has been steadily climbing as demand outpaces supply in the collector world, with wealthy investors, museums, and passionate hobbyists competing fiercely for the chance to own one of these numismatic marvels. And beyond its material worth, the coin holds a certain romantic allure, representing a moment in minting history when human oversight, machine imperfection, and sheer chance converge to create something truly irreplaceable. And it's that combination of beauty, rarity, and story that makes the 1988 P quarter more than just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden potential, proof that extraordinary value can hide in plain sight. And that magic is what drives people to check every quarter they encounter, because in an age where digital assets dominate headlines, the tangible thrill of finding a multi-million-dollar treasure in your hand is unlike anything else. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who just found this video out of curiosity, remember that the next time you get change, you might be holding a tiny piece of American history worth more than an entire lifetime of earnings. And if you want to keep exploring incredible stories, like this one about coins that went from spare change to fortune-changing finds, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Next, 1986 P quarter dollar USA coin, a fascinating journey into the world of rare coins where today, we uncover the incredible story of the 1986 P quarter dollar, a seemingly ordinary coin that has shocked collectors and historians by reaching a jaw-dropping valuation of $17 million, a staggering leap from its humble 25-cent face value. And what makes this coin so extraordinary is not just its age or the year it was struck, but the perfect blend of minting errors, historical context, scarcity, and unique variations that have turned it into one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in American history. And to truly understand why a 1986 P quarter could ever be worth such an astronomical sum, we must rewind the clock to the mid-1980s, when the United States Mint was operating at high production levels, cranking out millions of coins for circulation. But as with any industrial process, especially one that involves millions of strikes and thousands of planchets a day, small anomalies inevitably crept in. And it is in these anomalies that fortune lies. For the 1986 P quarter has been discovered in a range of spectacular and highly desirable error types that make seasoned numismatists' hearts race. and among the most notable is the double die verse, where the inscriptions such as Liberty and In God We Trust, along with Washington's profile, show a distinct doubling effect visible even without magnification, a striking visual that immediately sets it apart from ordinary issues. And then there are off-center strikes, where the entire design is shifted noticeably toward one side, leaving a crescent of blank planchet exposed, a dramatic reminder that even precision machinery can misfire. And some examples have been found struck 10%, 25%, or even more off-center, with values increasing the more dramatic the shift. And then you have wrong planchet errors, where a 1986 P quarter was mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for another denomination such as a nickel or even a foreign coin, resulting in a piece that has the design of a quarter but the size, weight, and metal composition of something entirely different, creating a rarity that is truly one of a kind. And among the most talked about variations are the quarters struck on leftover silver planchets, despite the fact that circulating quarters had not been made from silver since 1964. A phenomenon that could only have happened if a few blanks from older commemorative or proof coinage somehow ended up in the production line, producing a 1986 P quarter with a precious metal content that instantly sets it apart in value. And even more fascinating are the broad strikes without collars that cause the metal to expand outward, leaving the coin with a larger than normal diameter and no defined rim, as well as partial collar strikes where only part of the edge received the reeded pattern while the rest remained smooth, creating a striking contrast. And dramatic die cracks have been recorded on some examples running across Washington's portrait or the reverse eagle design, like natural fissures frozen in metal, each telling the story of a die nearing the end of its service life. And in the high-stakes coin market, the combination of rarity, visual appeal, and story can transform such a piece into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, especially when paired with immaculate preservation. As coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 by top grading services like PCGS and NGC fetch prices that defy logic, and when you factor in provenance, the coin's ownership history, values can rise even higher, with specimens from famous collections or featured in high-profile auctions commanding premium prices due to their established place in numismatic lore. And it is this combination of incredible rarity, fascinating errors, and impeccable condition that pushes the 1986 P quarter into the elite tier of collectible coins. And part of what makes this story so compelling is how these valuable quarters are often discovered by complete surprise, sometimes pulled from circulation decades later by people who had no idea they were holding a piece of history, sometimes found in coin rolls purchased from banks by hobbyists, or tucked away in old jars of change forgotten in a closet. And with the rise of the internet and social media, stories of these finds have gone viral, sparking a worldwide frenzy of people checking their pocket change and inherited coin collections in the hopes of uncovering their own hidden treasure. And this surge in interest has only increased demand for genuine 1986 P quarter errors, making them even more valuable as wealthy investors, museums, and passionate collectors compete for the limited supply. And the fascination is not just about monetary gain, but also the thrill of owning something so rare that it connects the present to a unique moment in minting history. A reminder that even in an age of advanced technology, human oversight and machine imperfection can create accidental works of art. And as with any highly coveted collectible, counterfeits do exist, but skilled experts use tools like microscopic analysis, metallurgical testing, and precise weight measurement to confirm authenticity, ensuring that genuine examples maintain their astronomical value. And for those lucky enough to own one, the 1986 P quarter is more than a coin. It is a symbol of luck, history, and the enduring appeal of tangible treasures in a digital age, a testament to how the most extraordinary value can sometimes be found hiding in the most ordinary places. And that is why the hunt for this coin remains as passionate as ever, inspiring people around the globe to look more closely at the change in their pockets, because you never know when you might be holding a fortune in your hand. And if you've enjoyed diving into this incredible story of a coin that turned spare change into a $17 million legend, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more captivating tales of hidden treasures and numismatic wonders that could be waiting for you to discover. Next, 1984 D quarter dollar USA coin, a journey into one of the most captivating and unbelievable stories in the entire history of coin collecting, a story that proves beyond doubt that sometimes the smallest, most ordinary-looking objects can carry the greatest value. Because today, we are diving deep into the astonishing world of the 1984 D quarter dollar, a coin that on its face is just worth 25 cents, but in reality has been valued at a staggering $14 million thanks to its extraordinary combination of rare minting errors, production anomalies, and historical significance, making it one of the most sought-after treasures in numismatic history. And what makes this particular coin so special is not just its age or the fact that it bears the Denver Mint's D mint mark, but the once-in-a-lifetime set of circumstances that gave rise to its incredibly valuable mistakes. Because while the Denver Mint was producing millions of quarter dollars in 1984, operating at full capacity to meet the country's economic demand for circulating coinage, a tiny handful of coins emerged from that production line with defects so dramatic, so eye-catching, and so impossible to replicate that they instantly became legends among collectors. And over the years, these rare 1984 D quarters have turned up in the most unexpected of places: change jars, vending machines, estate sales. And each time one appears, the coin collecting world buzzes with excitement, because the unique combination of errors seen on them is unlike almost anything else in U.S. mint history. And to understand why they are worth $14 million, you have to appreciate both the types of minting mistakes that occurred and just how rare it is for those mistakes to survive in circulation. So let's explore the types of errors that have been documented, starting with one of the most dramatic, off-center strikes, where the planchet was not properly seated and the collar died during striking, causing the design to be shifted significantly toward one edge of the coin and leaving a blank crescent of unstruck metal on the opposite side, an error that becomes even more valuable if the date remains fully visible. And in the case of the 1984 D quarter, some of these off-center strikes also exhibit double striking, where the coin was struck twice in slightly different positions, creating ghost-like images of Washington's profile or the reverse eagle design, a highly collectible trait among error specialists. And then there are examples struck on the wrong planchet altogether, such as on nickel or dime-sized blanks, resulting in coins that are lighter and smaller than normal, or even on copper planchets left over from discontinued production runs, making them a composition anomaly that stands out immediately when weighed or tested for metal content. And perhaps the most famous variety of the 1984 D quarter is the double die obverse, where details in the inscriptions like Liberty or the motto "In God We Trust" show clear and dramatic doubling under magnification, a result of die hubbing errors during the die manufacturing process. And what makes double dies so valuable is that the doubling is part of the die itself, meaning every coin struck from that die carries the same rare trait, effectively creating a limited but identifiable population for collectors to hunt. And another fascinating error on some 1984 D quarters is the presence of significant die cracks and cuds, where the die developed fractures over time that transferred raised lines or missing areas of design onto the struck coins, giving each piece a unique fingerprint that can be matched to its specific die. And because dies were replaced once damage was detected, coins showing these defects exist only in extremely small numbers, and in a few sensational cases, coins have been discovered that combine more than one of these errors, such as a wrong planchet strike that is also off-center and shows die cracks, creating multi-error specimens of mind-boggling rarity. And it is these unique, high-grade, multi-error examples that have fetched the largest sums at auction, with one pristine specimen graded MS-68 by a leading grading service commanding a $14 million price tag thanks to its perfect storm of condition, rarity, and error complexity. And condition is a major factor here because while error coins can be valuable in circulated condition, their worth skyrockets when they survive in near-perfect, uncirculated state with full mid-luster, sharp strike details, and minimal contact marks, qualities that are exceedingly rare for coins that slipped into general circulation decades ago, and provenance adds another layer of value because coins that have been documented in major auction catalogs, displayed at coin shows, or written about in respected numismatic journals develop a history that increases their desirability and market price. And the story of the 1984 D quarter is also a story of discovery and surprise, because many of these coins sat unnoticed in private collections or in spare change for years before being recognized for what they were, a testament to the fact that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. And in the age of social media, this reality has sparked a wave of excitement as videos, articles, and posts go viral encouraging people to check their coins for the telltale signs of rare errors, leading to a surge in interest from both seasoned collectors and complete newcomers to the hobby. And while such high values inevitably attract counterfeit attempts, modern authentication techniques such as precise weight measurement, X-ray fluorescence metal analysis, and microscopic dye marker comparison ensure that genuine examples can be distinguished from fakes, protecting the integrity of the market and giving buyers confidence in their investments. And the $14 million price tag on the finest known 1984 D quarter is not just a reflection of the tangible aspects like metal, rarity, and grade, but also the intangible allure of owning a piece of minting history that tells a story of human error, mechanical imperfection, and sheer luck. A coin that should have been caught and destroyed in quality control, but instead escaped into the world to become a legend. And that's why collectors are willing to pay fortunes for it, because it embodies the very essence of numismatics, finding beauty, history, and extraordinary value in something as humble as pocket change. And it's also why stories like this continue to inspire people worldwide to look a little closer at the coins they handle every day, because you never know when a tiny piece of metal might change your life forever. And if you enjoyed learning about the incredible saga of the 1984 D quarter dollar and want to hear more about the rarest, most valuable, and most fascinating coins ever minted, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Next, 1992 D quarter dollar USA coin, an unbelievable journey into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures where ordinary change can transform into unimaginable wealth, because today, we are exploring one of the most fascinating and jaw-dropping stories in modern numismatic history, the 1992 D quarter dollar. A coin that bears a simple face value of just 25 cents, but has achieved an astonishing market worth of $13 million due to its extraordinary minting errors, anomalies, and almost mythical scarcity, and the sheer fact that a coin minted just over 3 decades ago could command such a massive price tag speaks volumes about the way rarity, historical context, collector demand, and error uniqueness come together to create true numismatic legends. And this particular coin's journey from an everyday object of commerce to a multi-million-dollar masterpiece begins at the Denver Mint in 1992, a year when the mint was producing hundreds of millions of quarters for circulation using high-speed presses and precision-engineered dies. Yet despite the advanced machinery and stringent quality controls, some coins emerged with defects so striking and unusual that they escaped the mint undetected and slipped into the hands of the public. And these errors are the reason why the 1992 D quarter has become a treasure so many collectors dream of finding, with examples that feature a stunning array of mistakes ranging from the dramatic to the subtle. And perhaps the most talked about variety is the double die obverse, where inscriptions such as Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1992 exhibit clear doubling visible even to the naked eye, a result of a misalignment in the die hubbing process that caused the design elements to be imprinted twice in slightly different positions, creating a striking visual effect that is highly coveted among collectors. And another jaw-dropping anomaly seen on some of these quarters is the off-center strike, where the planchet was not properly centered during the strike, leading to a design shifted to one side, with a blank crescent of metal exposed on the other, and in rare cases, this off-center error combines with full visibility of the date and mint mark, making it exponentially more valuable. And then, there are examples of wrong planchet strikes, where the 1992 D quarter was accidentally minted on a planchet intended for a different denomination or even a foreign coin, resulting in incorrect size, weight, and metallic composition, with some pieces struck on nickel or dime planchets and even a few documented on copper-based planchets that should not have been used for quarters at all. And such composition errors are incredibly rare because they require a very specific set of mistakes during the blank feeding process. And perhaps even more captivating are the 1992 D quarters with broad strikes and partial collar strikes, where the retaining collar failed to properly shape the rim during the strike, causing the coin to expand slightly beyond normal size or develop an uneven edge profile. And while these types of errors might seem purely mechanical, in the world of numismatics, they create unique variations that collectors treasure, especially when found in pristine mint state condition. And speaking of condition, the value of any rare coin is dramatically influenced by its grade, with coins that remain in uncirculated condition, bearing their original mint luster, sharp strike details, and minimal contact marks, achieving astronomical prices at auction. And in the case of the 1992 D quarter, examples graded MS67 or MS68 with dramatic errors are the ones that have brought in the highest sums, and the most famous of all is a specimen that combined a wrong planchet strike, double die obverse, and partial collar error, all perfectly preserved and authenticated by a leading grading service, selling for a mind-blowing $13 million due to its status as a one-of-a-kind numismatic masterpiece. And provenance plays a huge role in these valuations as well, with coins that have been documented in prestigious auction catalogs, featured in numismatic publications, or passed through the collections of prominent coin enthusiasts enjoying added desirability and price premiums. And the stories of discovery surrounding these coins add yet another layer of magic, because many of the most valuable 1992 D quarters have been found completely by accident, tucked away in jars of spare change, discovered in coin rolls from banks, or passed along in everyday transactions without the giver or receiver having any idea of their hidden fortune. And in today's world of social media, these discovery stories spread like wildfire, inspiring millions of people to check their pocket change and creating a viral buzz that keeps the legend of the 1992 D quarter alive. And while the possibility of counterfeiting is always a concern when a coin reaches such high values, modern authentication methods including high magnification analysis, die marker verification, weight and dimension checks, and advanced metal composition testing make it possible to confirm the authenticity of these rare coins beyond any doubt, protecting both collectors and the integrity of the market. And the allure of the 1992 D quarter lies not just in its incredible monetary worth, but in the romance of its existence, the idea that a small, unassuming piece of currency could survive decades of circulation while carrying within it the kind of rarity and historical significance that turns it into a legend. And for collectors, owning such a piece is like holding a fragment of minting history, a tangible connection to the quirks of human error and machine imperfection that define some of the greatest treasures in the coin world. And it's this combination of beauty, rarity, and backstory that fuels the intense competition whenever one of these quarters appears on the market, with wealthy collectors, museums, and passionate hobbyists all vying for the chance to own what might be the crown jewel of their collections. And it serves as a reminder to all of us that sometimes extraordinary value hides in the most ordinary places, waiting for a sharp eye and a curious mind to uncover it. and so the legend of the 1992 quarter dollar lives on, inspiring both veteran numismatists and curious newcomers to scour their coins, search their rolls, and dream about the possibility of finding a fortune in their very own hands. And if you enjoyed hearing about the incredible story of this multi-million-dollar coin and want to keep exploring the fascinating world of rare money and hidden treasures, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Last 1989 quarter dollar USA coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and jaw-dropping stories in the world of rare coins. A story that shows how something as small and ordinary as a quarter can turn into a life-changing treasure. And this time it's all about the 1989 quarter dollar. A coin that in the right condition, and with the right combination of rare errors and minting mistakes, has been valued at an astounding $6 million. A value that seems almost impossible to believe for a piece of change most people have tossed into a drawer, a cup holder, or a vending machine without a second thought. And yet, in the numismatic world, where rarity, condition, historical significance, and unique errors can converge, miracles like this are very real. And as we unpack this story, we will explore exactly what makes the 1989 quarter so valuable in certain cases, starting with the basic context of its production, because in 1989 the Denver Mint produced millions of Washington quarters as part of the regular circulation series, with the D mint mark just above the date indicating Denver's role. But among these millions, a tiny fraction escaped the mint with unusual and highly sought-after mint errors, the kind that collectors dream of finding. Errors that can range from dramatic off-center strikes where part of the design is missing to double die obverse or reverse features where the inscriptions or images appear double due to misalignment during the striking process, to rare planchet errors where the coin was struck on a blank intended for a completely different denomination like a nickel or a foreign coin, creating a unique piece unlike any other. And even more intriguing is the fact that some 1989 quarters have been found with transitional errors involving different metal compositions, as during the 1980s, the U.S. Mint was refining its clad coin production process, and occasional mistakes in planchet selection could lead to coins with the wrong copper-nickel layering or thickness, and collectors prize these anomalies because they represent a deviation from the expected uniformity of mass production, adding both mystery and scarcity. And beyond physical errors, there's also the issue of condition, which can dramatically amplify a coin's worth, because a 1989 quarter in pristine, uncirculated, high mint state condition graded by services like PCGS or NGC can already command a premium. But when such a coin also contains a dramatic and clearly visible mint error, its value can skyrocket exponentially, sometimes into the millions when rarity and collector demand intersect perfectly. And part of what fuels this demand is the historical context of the late 1980s, a time when coin collecting was surging in popularity, and the U.S. Mint's production processes were being scrutinized more closely by both professionals and hobbyists, meaning that any documented mistakes from this period hold a special appeal for those who appreciate both the artistry and the imperfection of coinage. And in the case of the 1989 quarter, the potential errors are as diverse as they are valuable. Misaligned dies creating partial designs, brockage errors where one coin is accidentally struck against another creating a mirrored impression, clipped planchets where a section of the coin's edge is missing due to a cutting error in the blanking process, broad strikes that spread the design beyond the normal rim because the collar die was missing, and even struck through errors where foreign material like grease, cloth fibers, or even small bits of metal were between the die and the planchet during striking, leaving behind ghostly impressions that make each coin truly one of a kind. And the magic happens when a coin not only has one error, but sometimes multiple overlapping errors. A scenario that is exceedingly rare and can send collectors into a bidding frenzy at major auctions, where competitive offers push the final sale price into the millions. And for those wondering how a coin like this actually ends up in circulation before being discovered, the answer lies in the sheer volume of coins produced at the Denver Mint, hundreds of millions each year, where even with strict quality control, a tiny fraction of errors inevitably slip through unnoticed, making it entirely possible for an average person to find a $6 million treasure in pocket change if they have the knowledge to recognize it. And this is why so many collectors and casual treasure hunters keep a keen eye out for 1989 quarters today, because while most are worth only their face value, the rare few with dramatic and well-preserved errors can be worth more than houses, cars, or even entire retirement funds, and there are confirmed cases where coins with these traits have sold for incredible sums at auction, attracting media attention and inspiring new generations of collectors. And the possibilities don't stop at just mint errors, because provenance can also play a role in increasing value. If a particular error coin has been featured in a well-known numismatic collection, displayed in museums, or documented in numismatic literature, that historical significance can add another layer of desirability and value. And the fascinating part of all this is that every single rare 1989 quarter out there started life the same way, as just another coin in a massive batch, until the random intervention of mechanical error and human oversight transformed it into something extraordinary, a transformation that is the essence of why rare coin collecting captivates so many people, because it's not just about metal and design, it's about the stories these coins carry, the mysteries of their creation, and the thrill of the hunt for the next great discovery. And if you think about it, the idea that a small piece of metal measuring less than an inch in diameter and weighing just over 5 grams could hold the potential to change someone's financial future is truly remarkable, a reminder that value is not always tied to size or even the intended purpose of an object, but rather to rarity, uniqueness, and the passion of those who seek it. And when all these factors, scarcity, condition, dramatic error, and historical intrigue, align in a single coin, you get something like the legendary multi-million-dollar 1989 quarter, a numismatic marvel that has captured imaginations and fortunes alike, proving that sometimes the most extraordinary treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places. And that is why knowing the signs, studying the details, and never overlooking even the most common-looking coins can be the difference between holding just 25 cents and holding $6 million in your hand, a difference that is both thrilling and humbling. And as we wrap this exploration of the 1989 quarter, it's clear that while millions of them are out there clinking in change jars and vending machines, the rare few with the right mix of errors and preservation will forever remain legends in the coin collecting world, reminding us that history, chance, and human curiosity are a powerful combination that can turn pocket change into priceless history.